We're taking a minute to check in with our new player account. We want to help people build their roster accordingly, making sure they're able to take advantage of everything possible within Marvel Strike Force. This particular account is 146 days old. Now, I do have an endgame account, one that I've been playing since day one, so that's been about 8 years in the running. And then I do a new account every year, and this is where we are in the development of that particular account. There's so much going on that sometimes things can be confusing. So the way to kind of whittle it down is we have to set goals. So what is really the next goal that we have for our account? Well, we want to get that character right there who's part of the Dread team, Scorpion Breaker. He is going to be the next legendary character. Legendary characters are particularly strong. And just having an individual like that on our team can help us immensely. Now, one of the confusing things that happen right now with the way the legendary events work is that they have a team. So like we're saying, that Scorpion Breaker character has this team that's meant to go along with him, the Dread team. This is one of those teams, if we're free to play players, that we should not build. This is a team that, generally speaking, if you are a free to play player, you're going to want to skip this team. This is what we call a premium team. It's a spender team. It's generally not meant for the free to play community. The character himself, the Scorpion Breaker, is something that will be available, and it is something we want to go for, something we want to push for. But we don't want to spend our resources on those other team members. Instead, if we're here on the squad screen, generally speaking, what we're looking at for the most time when you look at this, the top two teams will be somewhere where we're trying to power up. Okay, generally speaking, this is that other team, that Dread team is exception, but generally speaking, the top two teams are what we want to be working on. So in this case, it's the Amazing Avengers and the Symbiote 6. The Symbiote 6 are the strongest team in the game right now. They are an arena team. Arena teams are the best overall teams in the game, and they only come out once a year. So far, we've been able to get our characters up here to level 95. That's where we're stopping at this point. I do everything by fives. So my account is at level 99, but we're just going to bring everybody up to level 95 until I can get to the next 5, which would be 100. So Toxin there is the character that we're still working on. Null, he's a special character. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get him unlocked. There is really no pathway to unlock him on the free-to-play side right now. We'll have to see what the future brings. So in the meantime, we'll just work on these 4 characters because we can control that. So the last character that I have to kind of level up gear-wise for that team is Toxin. So we see we're missing 2 pieces there. So you can always just click it, go to find. In this case, it's going to take you to where you can open these orbs, or you can get him out of the store. It will take you usually to the appropriate section here in the gear store. It calls shop credits. As you can see, we have 391,000 shop credits. Just to mention, that could be a problem. There have been times lately where in one day, I've spent 400,000 shop credits. And I don't think I'm doing anything that we're not supposed to be doing. I think we're playing the game the way we're supposed to be playing it. For example, I can see something like that happening here once again with the Amazing Avengers. Now, Amazing Avengers are a very important team. This is a must-build team. This is the team that's going to help us unlock things going forward. We're going to need it to unlock that Scorpion Breaker character. We're going to need it when the new raids come out, and raids are how we generate our resources. There's controversy in the community as whether this team is a good team or a bad team. This is one of those times where that does not matter. The team is necessary to make forward progress in the game. So we're going to go ahead and build it. The point of concern that we're mentioning about the credits is, again, so right here we have Hulk. So I could be working on him. He's a bio character. So he shares the same gear as the symbiote characters. I'm trying to finish them first. However, once I get that other symbiote character done, I start working on Hulk here. As you see, he's ready, right? He's ready. All his empty spots have a little plus sign in them. So I could put those in, put that gear on. He's going to go up. I'll get more gear, put it in. He's going to go up. And I'll have to continue to go into the store, buying those pieces to do it. Somewhere along the line, then the other 2 characters will become available. Rachel Cole as Spider-Woman. I'm assuming they'll be coming available relatively soon because, again, this team is necessary to unlock that Breaker character, and that event is going to be released sometime in the near future. Rachel Cole is a skill-based character. Spider-Woman is another bio character. And so what's going to happen once again, I'm going to be buying multiple pieces at the same time, which is going to deplete my store of shop credits. So make sure we're only using those shop credits on things that we're going to actually use. Let's not use them on characters that are nice to have that we think we're going to do something with. Only use them on things that we're actually going to be using. So use them on characters that we're currently powering up. Use it on character gear that we know that we need to have. For example, here we are in the chapter store. So chapter 1, Terra credits. It says there's 16 days left. As we get down, we're going to want to use that currency up. But we do see Rachel Cole is there. Okay, so it's Rachel Cole Alves. So again, her name is Rachel Cole. She was marrying a gentleman by the name of Mr. Alves. Unfortunately, he was killed by a gang called the Exchange. So she has a hyphenated name there. Her name is Rachel Cole. But since she's there, we're going to go ahead and pick her up every day, just as we're going to do with all the other characters here. Okay. If you are a newer player and you're not at max level, if you are not at maximum level, if you're not at level 110, then we should simply use our credits here on characters because we can't use the gear, right? The Crimson gear, that's gear tier 21 gear, which you need to be at max level, or excuse me, gear tier 20 gear, which we need to be, again, higher up, maybe level 105 to use it. So there's no point in buying it early in the game. The only way to make your character stronger is to increase their star level. So we should do that, and we should do that on the characters that are newest. The newest characters are the strongest, so we should work on getting them as strong as possible. The way the game works right now is everything is a stepping stone, so all the new teams are going to be used in the content going forward. So just make sure at base level, we're working on those new teams so we can focus them in the content to come. That's going to give us the best rewards. So returning back to the Amazing Avengers, we were talking about how to get the characters, shop credits, what should we use them for. So there's another very important point that we need to consider when we're talking about how to build our teams, shop credits, and whatnot. So we have the Incredible Hulk there. We can demonstrate with him. So I'll click on Hulk and we'll go to find. If I scroll all the way to the right, what I see here is 2 campaigns where I could go after Hulk shards. And this is something we normally would not recommend, but in this case, we're going to say that it is appropriate to do this. You get a lot of Hulk shards just from playing the game. You get them from achievements and things of that nature. So on the achievement screen here, if I was to scan through, right, so in a couple of days, I'm going to get 15 more to add to this account. I need a little bit more than 50 to max that out. So maybe I could be patient, but the point I want to stress is we've already been playing this account for almost 150 days. So that's almost 5 months. So just to give you a gauge, right? It's been 5 months. I've been playing it regularly and I still don't have the character maxed out, and we're going to need the character soon. He's somebody that we could have strong and able to do some damage and do some things for our roster. So instead of waiting, we could fast forward that progress a little bit. Now, we want to keep in mind that this should not be something we do straight away. We want to make sure we're using our campaign energy we want to make sure we're getting training materials. So we want to make sure that we're farming these nodes here. Like for example, the Nexus mode 5-9, that one there where we see Sam Alexander, right? Training orb fragments are there. So training orbs are the bottleneck for many of us if we're building our teams appropriately. So we want to make sure that every day we're getting all those nodes. So we want to spend our campaign energy on that first. Then, as you see, we have some left up there available. I have 150. I could get a little bit more as the day goes on. So I spent all my training materials earlier by farming these nodes. And now they've restored. I have a little bit left. So I could go after maybe some gear pieces that I need to help augment some of that so I don't have to use as much shop credits. Same thing with character shards. So in this case, the Incredible Hulk, I could go after him. It's kind of a controversial subject, but again, it's been 5 months almost, and my Hulk is not yet maxed out. So I can get that done by going after those shards, if I'm making sense there. I could use that same principle if I'm dealing with my symbiotes here. So once again, we're back on Toxin's page. We can't get the nebulizer, but this guy over here, the hyperphage, right? If we find that, go all the way to the right side. If I wasn't able to get any more in the store, I could get a few I could try, right? It's random. There's no guarantee it's going to happen. We could try to get a few out of that campaign node. This, again, we're just putting this out there as a way to kind of offset what we're trying to do if we don't want to run out of shop credits. Another small announcement we want to make is it appears that it's now taken about this long to get to a point where our tier 4 ability materials are starting to stabilize. Again, we're working on Toxin. We see the 3 abilities. They're maxed out. We didn't do the basic. We'll click on that very briefly. But it looks like we have some tier 4 ability materials there. So don't be afraid to use them on a team that you need to use them on. So again, we're going to go with this arena team, maybe the next series of raid teams to make sure that that's able to function. But let me know how that's working out. Do you have enough tier 4 ability materials to power up a team every month? So we're talking about 5 characters. If it's more than that, we might not have enough. Are you able to do 5 characters every month? So as we cycle through our characters here, we got Toxin, we have Quicksilver Symbiote, Riot, and Venom so far. And if you noticed, we were able to get all of their abilities up, and we didn't do the basics, but we have this much left. We were starting to get a surplus. So between what we get and then what we get in the orbs, we don't want to discount that. We want to make sure that we're using it appropriate. It looks like we're having enough for a team. I'm going to continue to experiment with that. This is the team that we're using right now in Arena. As you can see, we've made it to rank 123. So we're not amazing, but we're climbing, right? We were stuck a lot farther down, but because we have the new Arena team, we're able to climb and get some results. We have Wolverine back there just because he's the strongest character that I have at the time. So with that team that I was using, you see what my power is 2.5 million, and I'm able to punch up and deal with, generally speaking, some of these other teams. We see there's an Apocalypse there in the middle on the enemy side. I just want to point out to people that a lot of these older characters, don't build your roster around getting them. If you're a newer player, don't build your roster around getting them. Again, there's a lot of ideas out there. The stronger right? These new breaker characters are stronger than Apocalypse. He's a little bit older. So it's better just to build the new teams, get the new characters who's strong, than to have to build a bunch of older teams that we're not going to be using anymore to unlock that one character, right? That'll come in time. Just as our account it grows naturally, we'll naturally fill in the gaps and be able to go back and get those characters. But I think it's a disservice to tell people to build for that when you're going to put a lot of time, energy, investment into something, and it's not going to help you very much. So let's just sum up what we're trying to do for next week. Our goal is going to be to finish Toxin, see if we can get him up to gear tier 18. Then we'll switch back over to the Hulk there and get him up to gear tier 18. Hopefully somewhere in between now and then, we will be able to unlock Rachel Cole and Spider-Woman. We need to get them built up, and that will help us to have teams available to move forward and unlock the Scorpion Breaker. Does that sound like a plan? Do you have any questions, right? So if you're new to Marvel Strike Force, you're trying to figure the game out, we want to help you. We're building right along with you right here with this account. We got you covered. Let me know in the comments below. Peace.